if we took Trump and DeSantis and we made a Venn diagram of everything they agreed on, what are the differences that you see that DeSantis doesn't have? That what is that X factor that Trump does have that you're talking about?
Well, you just said it. Trump is
the X factor.
Trump is a once in a generation charismatic authority that cannot be replicated. It cannot be imitated. As somebody who has a little slice of that kind of charisma myself, and has experienced a retinue of desperate clingers and imitators in my life, I can tell you it never pans out trying to, just snatch the bits that you can stomach from the guy everybody loves and otherwise keep serving your special interests. Well, Trump is a, look, whether you believe in God or not, you could express this in terms of ordainment if you wanted to, or you could just say that some people are born with a magical kind of personality that captivates people in a way that nobody else can imitate.
In terms of what people are getting from
DeSantis, on the other hand, has no identifiable personality at all.
Well, sure. But what symbol, policy, feeling do people get from Trump? What victory?
You're making the mistake that all politically minded people make, which is assuming that people vote on the basis of policy.
I said feeling.
DeSantis has scored some victories in Florida. He's been an excellent governor in Florida, and that's where he should stay, because he's been a very successful and excellent governor in Florida. But as I said, people like him in some bits of Florida almost as much as they like Trump. But ask them to choose, and he's out.
I'm trying to figure out on the gain people get from Trump they don't get from DeSantis, and that can be emotional.
It's precisely that. It's precisely that magical intangible that you try to articulate and stumble, and then when you go to a rally, you're like, "That's what I was talking about."
Kymatics, man.
There are people who are born with that gift, and they typically find some way in which to express it.
Yeah.
Some of them become singers, some of them become actors. And
saying Trump exudes charisma doesn't quantify what's happening for us in a way that, so for me, right?
Of course it does.
Well, no, right.
Mesmerizing.
I get that. But so a lot of people are motivated.
He's an intoxicant that blots out the sun. There is no conventional political candidate who has a chance.
What does an intelligent individual or working class person gain from that? A good feeling?
I don't know what kind of logical fallacy that is. What does an intelligent person gain?
Well, because you're saying the average person doesn't care about policy.
I can't speak for intelligent people, but
so if no one actually cares about what their politicians are doing for them, then why should I care about Trump over DeSantis? What happened in 2016 was the last time that half this country felt good about themselves and like there might be hope.
Stopping it there, and welcome to Mika Reacts Reviews. We're reacting to things on the internet, and today we are reacting to a short clip of a longer clip and a longer podcast from Temple IRL with the special guest Milo Yiannopoulos. Butchered that. Milo, my man. He was in the news a lot around 2016. He was trending, flamboyant Republican who was a big Trump lover, and then he got yeeted off the internet. He got banned from Twitter and all that stuff. I remember they tried to ban his books, which just gave him the Streisand effect, and his books basically sold out. It was a big riot about it. It was like a whole fucking thing with Milo.
The chaos on campus began before Milo Yiannopoulos was set to speak at Cal. The controversial far right-wing editor from Breitbart News criticized for racist and misogynistic views.
I happen to believe that hate crimes aren't really a thing.
President Trump's chief strategist, Steve Bannon, previously headed Breitbart News. Many of the protesters also voicing their opposition to the Republican president.
No Trump! No Milo! Anyway, they're having a conversation. Why would anybody vote for Trump over DeSantis or vice versa? Milo is obviously on the side of Trump, completely dismissing DeSantis' sort of charisma and saying he has absolutely no personality. I don't agree with that. I've seen DeSantis do press conferences. He has a personality and he can go in hard, especially the whole covering kids' faces in schools, and that whole big mic drop moment when he was basically take off your fucking mask, we're not doing this anymore. And I'm not gonna play that clip because I got a strike from playing that clip on my channel. So I wouldn't agree with Milo on that. Now, does his charisma match the charisma and the personality of Trump? Probably not. And I think a lot of people would agree that from what we remember, Trump was larger than life. I don't know if he's blocks out the sun. Milo has a way of words. He's sort of a poet in a way, the way he speaks. But I also think that there are people who are questioning whether Trump still has that charisma, that if he is still bigger and larger than life, you know what I mean? That maybe it has been dimmed a little bit. I'm not saying that it has, I'm just saying people have questioned that, and that's why people are talking about DeSantis, is maybe Trump time has come and gone, and maybe it's time for DeSantis. Again, DeSantis has not even come close to announcing that he's going to win or run for presidency, so for some reason, they keep comparing him. Even if DeSantis wasn't going to run, maybe he feels like he kind of has to now, because everyone keeps assuming he's going to, because he's been on the top of the news lately. He's been doing such a good job when it comes to Florida with the schools and the whole global virus. Can't say the word. Don't want to get another strike. But anyway, so you guys let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below. But we are going to continue listening to Milo speak. All right, here we go.
And there might be hope. You cannot fight that.
Hope for what?
Trump.
What?
Their world wouldn't be ripped apart by social engineering and by other things I can't mention right now until the third hour. But there are things going on in this country that threaten the very basis of our civilization, that stem from original sins like women's suffrage, but go all the way through to more modern fads and manias to do with things we can't talk about. But there is the people are keenly aware that the physical reality of the world they live in, the facts they took for granted, are being ripped apart by the political descendants of.
Now I understand. I understand what you're saying.
So Trump in 2016. I was very blessed to have the opportunity to be such a big part of that, because that was the last time that an entire half of this country felt like things might end up okay. And he turned out to be disappointing in office, but how could he ever have been how could he ever have ended up otherwise?
Not appointed really horrible people around him, like John Bolton and Dr. Fauci, and put him in positions of power. That's one of. But one thing I want to bring up.
Trump has a weakness for his family.
I want to ask.
He finds it very difficult to say no to his family, I think. But that's the answer to your question. The reason that people will flock to him no matter what, even though they hate what he has to say about certain medical things. They hate it. They can't understand why he's so proud of it. They can't understand why he never shuts up about it. They just want him to stop. And it's like, do you know who your base is, bro? But they'll forgive that and everything, because he was the last guy that made them feel like justice and hope was within reach.
I'll try and quantify it the way what I'm basically hearing is that there are dark forces that are destroying the fabric of this country. Donald Trump stood in front of that and put a fist up to stop it.
And said it might not be too late. So when Christianity comes into Europe in the Middle Ages, right? Its real innovation is a sort of joy and happiness that's not fueled by self-indulgence and self-destruction. So pagan societies, people losing themselves in music and substances. There's always kind of a cost attached to that kind of ecstasy, right? You get yourself caught up in some kind of hypnotic pagan, trance thing. The nearest cognate we have these days is drug-fueled EDM raids, and it always comes with a cost attached. There's a price to it. When Christianity comes in the Middle Ages, you suddenly see like intensely religious people singing and dancing. They found this way to be happy that doesn't involve killing yourself in some sort of slow motion suicide. But one of the sort of the emotional building blocks of our civilization is joy in Christ, happiness for its own sake. I don't think anybody could plausibly claim that society is getting happier and more joyful. What we've seen with runaway school marmishness and restrictions and regulations, the kind of intolerable and oppressive conditions under which some people, valiantly continue to labor, is a gradual suffocating of a joy. There's nothing recognizable as comedy on television anymore.
Well, just really quick,
I'll be quick. Sorry. That gradual erosion of happiness. People feel that. They're aware of it. They won't articulate it in the way that I did, but they're aware of it, and they know that the last time that something good happened was this crazy guy that they remembered from a TV show, who suddenly inspired them with confidence that maybe it wasn't too late to beat back the hordes of hell.
All right, guys, that was Milo on URL or IRL, Timcast podcast. That was a shorter longer clip of a longer podcast. You can go watch the whole thing if you want. It was very interesting. Milo is a gift gab, and no one really else got a word in that whole podcast. If you saw it, you can see people trying to get in there. And Milo, I think, from years of being interviewed, learned the craft of taking up this floor space of saying and getting out exactly what he wants to say in detail. I don't know about the whole Christianity thing. I think, music can be hypnotic and bring happiness and joy without killing yourself, without church or Christianity in itself. I don't think that's like a thing, like you have to do drugs to enjoy music and whatever. I think that you can easily be taken and enveloped by music and art and enjoy that without religion or drugs. So, and the whole, the last time people felt inspired or hope or joy was because of Trump. I think that's an individual thing. But I do think that Trump was the last time people felt like they can push America back on the right path of things. But I don't think every person, even if you voted for Trump, sees Trump as this sort of holy God thing, right? So I think that's an individual thing, but I do agree that maybe that was the last time people felt like America could prosper again. And I do agree with him when he says that it feels like there is a lack of joy and a lack of happiness, a lack of laughter. Again, that could be an individual thing. Maybe there's lots of people in America that's I've never been happier. But I do think as a whole, we can feel like there's something in the air. There's some sort of negative, dark cloud hovering over everything. And I feel like everyone's sort of still waiting for the other shoe to drop. So I do agree with some of what he said, not necessarily all of what he said. I think some of what he said is on an individual basis or level. But again, tell me guys, what do you think of what he's saying about Trump? Do you think he is the star that blocks out the sun or whatever, and all these great, holy, amazing things, that is the last person that brought you joy in life or whatever? Or do you think he's just a man that was one of the best presidents we had in a long time, and you want to see him have his last 4 years and see what he can do? I like that. I forget his name, Jason, the We Are Change guy. I like that he did point out the fact that Trump did put a lot of bad people in position. And if it wasn't for some of those people in position, we wouldn't, felt the blow in the last, 2 or so years of the virus. I think that, he can, there's some blame. There are some faults that Trump has done. And for me, I don't think it's as cut and dry as no one cares about what he did. They'll still vote for him. I feel like that's the saying that all Trump supporters are just all emotional, no logic, don't care about any policy, don't care about what his future policies would be. They just want to get that good feeling back or whatever. I think there are a lot of people that's looking at Trump going, we're waiting. Give us your plan. Let us feel good about this. Let us feel like there is going to be change. That you're not going to appoint shitty ass people again. That you're going to acknowledge that this 2-year virus thing, that you had a part to play in that. You know what I mean? We want to hear you humble yourself to the things you could have done better and come out with a plan. I don't think it's as cut and dry as this just ravenous Trump supporters don't care if he shits himself, they'll still vote for him kind of thing. I don't think it's that cut and dry. And I think that if people think it's that cut and dry, then they might be disappointed in 2024. A lot of things need to change. The whole mail-in the massive blind melon ballot thing needs to change. Like there's things that needs to happen. So instead of just like, oh no, he's just a hero, people will vote for him anyway. And I think we do have to acknowledge that there's issues, and I think that we do have to acknowledge those issues that people want to hear be talked about. But anyway, tell me guys, what do you think in the comment section below? Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to get notifications when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, you can donate. My PayPal link is in the description box below and also in the comment section. Of course it helps, but you don't have to. You can just like, comment, and subscribe. Another great way to support this channel is either join my brand new membership program, different levels, different tiers, different perks, or you can visit my brand new merch shop, links down below, and links to all of the alternative platforms I'm on, my socials, including my Twitter, my Odyssey, my Minds.com, my Rumble, and all the links to all the other YouTube channels I have are always in the links down below. And if you like, you can super thanks. I also have a second travel vlog channel. I travel as a lifestyle. I live abroad. If you'd like to know where I am in the world, you can go description box below, also in the comment section. Hit the link, go subscribe to my travel vlog channel, and or follow me on my travel Instagram. My stories is usually what's most up to date. And you guys have an amazing day. Bye.